This is for all my American citizen Swifties who are eligible to vote, aka over 18, and those who will be approaching that age soon. I want to give y'all some nonpartisan advice. This applies to you no matter what political party you affiliate with, or even if you don't associate yourself with a political party, you're an independent, then this is still for you. My credentials are that I've worked on the Hill, I've worked in state politics, and one of my bachelor degrees is in political science. My biggest piece of advice is to be educated on the candidate and their issues. You also might have to prioritize your top issues because it is very, very unlikely that every candidate will have the exact same view on every single issue that you do. If one of the candidates running is an incumbent, then I highly encourage you to go look at their voting record and make sure that what they are voting on is actually lining up with what they say their values are on their website, because sometimes politicians say one thing and then vote another way, but if you're not looking into it or it's not covered in the news, you might not realize it. That being said, if they're also an incumbent, look to see if they've ever sponsored or introduced legislation, because that's really important as well. But cannot drive home enough, are their values actually lining up with how they are voting? Please, please, please look into that. Please do not neglect your local politics. Local and state politics more than likely are playing an influence in your everyday life, more so than federal. Yes, that seems crazy, but local politics are incredibly important, and they're also can be very nasty because of how influential their votes are actually on your daily life. Some of these elections are also nonpartisan, so then it really is important to look into how they're voting. Of course, if they aren't an incumbent, then just doing your research is important, and maybe going to debate, asking questions if you have that ability, and really just trying to get the best idea of that person before they're put into office. But please do not neglect local elections. I know some people just focus on federal sometimes, which are still very, very important. They focus on those candidates and they're not focusing on their local candidates, and things are happening in their state that they think are linked to federal issues, and they might be to a T, but actually the person who is voting on it is your local politician, and they're the ones affecting you more so than what the federal politicians are voting on.